Good morning, traders. So how do we trade the Dow Jones today? So before we get on, if you do like what you see, please give us a thumbs up, smash that like button there, and even better, drop us comments and let me know what else you'd like to see. Are there any other instruments we'd like to look at? So I've left the levels in from yesterday, and you can see this orange level was the monthly inside bar. There it is there. That was kind of the last line of defense. There's an inside bar, there's an inside bar. And if we drill down to the hour quickly, you'll see we hit it, we bounced off it, and the buyer stepped in. Okay, whether this is enough buying momentum to change direction or not is something we'll have to wait and see what happens today. So on the daily, you can see pretty much also bounced off the 200 EMA. Now the trick with this at this stage is we're looking for a base. Now, one thing that has happened here is we've got a piercing pattern. So in other words, we opened below the previous day's close over here, tried to come down, and then rallied up more than halfway of the previous day. So in other words, this pattern here pierces this bar. So this green bar pierces the red bar. So that's a piercing pattern. The other thing to bear in mind, just move that level there. It did tag this inside bar. Now what we want to see is a break of that level. Okay, I think this level here we can actually get rid of. Those are the two areas we need to watch out for. If we look at the 4 hour, we haven't had a crossover of the moving averages, but they are pointing to the upside. So there are some warning bells ringing quite loudly. The thing that's not ringing quite loudly is the oscillator here. So if you look from here to here, we've got a high and a higher high, whereas if we correspond that to price, we've got a low and a lower low. So that is continuation divergence for another leg down. Okay, so kind of a mixed bag, just bear that in mind. This is a nice engulfing bar. It took out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 previous 4 hour bars. So that's always a positive sign. But again, it could be just because we are off this weekly level. So you could find us coming all the way back down to try and challenge this level again. Or sorry, monthly level, not weekly level. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, but for today, I think what you want to do is you want to trade what you see. We've had a crossover the moving averages. We've got diversions. We've got a grouping of the oscillator. And we're also kind of just, we've now closed below this negative 20 line. So there is a possibility that we've got some downside to come. But what normally happens is we come back to sort of test these fractional breaks here. So this is the first fractional break. It's happened above the 26 moving average. You see there, price broke above it. It was above 26 moving average. That's a fairly bullish signal. What could happen here is we would pull back to test it. We would pull back even deeper. So long as we don't break below, and I'm going to adjust that, this bottom fractional here, everything's good. Okay, so that's kind of the play that I'm looking at this morning. Is I see us consolidating a bit, maybe even a bit more of a pullback. But looking at the half hour, the minute we get down into this area, there is going to be an opportunity for a long trade. Okay, just proceed with caution because, as I said, this was a pretty big level that we bounced off, and I think that the trend has been pretty strong to the downside. So rather than trying to bottom pick, which is what I've been trying to do what I tried to do on Wednesday, just wait for confirmation. Okay, so I think here was your first signal, here is your second signal. So pretty much you want to break with the second signal, which equates to 25.365. Break above that and close above that on the 4 hour. That gives you confirmation of the upside move. Okay, but I don't like leaving things over the weekend, so whatever trade I do take will come out tonight. Yeah, and there is a bit of a double bottom here. We've had a breakthrough of the neckline and we've tested it, maybe another retest of it, possibly even pulling back a bit deeper, so onto one of these two levels. And there is a third level here that is also possible, which would actually make me feel a bit more comfortable, which is a pullback down to 25,111. So those are the three levels we're watching. Okay, now problem is your stop is all the way down here, which is another 500-point stop loss. Just insanely volatile at the moment. Okay, so that's kind of my take, and just bear in mind on the half hour, you can see we haven't quite hit the 200 moving average yet, but we are flirting with it. Okay, now what I do want to do on this is I just want to pop into the ichimoku, and you can see on the half hour we have broken the cloud. Now if I put my levels back in here, you'll see there's a flat cloud. Okay, no flat cloud there, but there probably will be one down here. There's a flat cloud there, and it lines up with Dickinson. Okay, so Chico Span's broken through price, it's broken through the cloud. It should come back to test the cloud, so this should come back to test the cloud. So I do still expect this pullback. If we look at the 1 hour, we are in the cloud. Okay, now there's a couple of things that have happened. We've had a crossover, we've broken through, we just haven't had a twist in the cloud yet. So this still leads me to believe a bit of a pullback to come closer to Kijinson and Dickinson, and then another attempt at breaking through. 4 hour, we are pretty much in bearish territory still. So we are bouncing off the underside of the cloud. We broke through the cloud, and we are now bouncing off the underside of the cloud. So there are going to be people that are trading with a short for a continuation. I'm just not a fan of this massive engulfing bar here. That to me is a signal. Okay. And if we look at the daily, we bounced off the cloud. We are still in a bullish crossover here on the daily. Okay, so this is a bullish setup. And it's off a level, it's off multiple levels. So we haven't had a breakthrough here, and we haven't had a twist in the cloud. So Kijinson hasn't not Kijinson. Chiku Span, the brown line here, hasn't broken through price, and we haven't got a twist, but we do have a crossover. So we got 1 out of 3. So the minute this breaks through price and this twists over, this confirmation would be here for the long trade. At this stage, it's still brewing. Okay, and we've got a piercing pattern here. So I do know a trader that would be trading this, and he'd have a stop here, but he's got an account that would make our eyes water. So a 500-point stop for him is nothing. Yeah, there's nothing else that I can really add to this, except this is looking more and more like a breakthrough. I mean, if we do get a break above the high of yesterday, that's going to give us the confidence. And what I expect to happen, it'll hit the moving average, come back down, test the cloud, and that would be your entry long. Okay, so two scenarios here. Let's just get back to a cleaner chart. I want to clean up the noise. Okay, and let's go to where the action is. Right, okay, so two scenarios here. First one is a pullback to test this breakout, which is probably the most logical. The second prize would be to pull back to this level here, which is also possible. There's an inside tail there. Okay, so that would be the area of pullback. This moving average here could hold things up. Okay, so the only thing that's going to make that happen is a break below this fractal here. But the levels are close, so it's not something that I want to trade the downside. So ideally what I'm looking for is a break of fractal levels on the half hour. So there's a fractal level there that I can look for, 25.327, or to the downside 25.244. But for me, delete that one. I'd like to see a deeper pullback. In actual fact, I'd love to see a pullback all the way down to here. And that is 25.108. Okay, so just watch the 30 minute and the half hour. 30 minutes crossed over here, and we've also moving to the downside. This could just be a bit of a flag. So in other words, this will move all the way down and then we bounce up. Possible, but 25,220 most logical. Second level is 25,176, and if we're lucky enough to get a squirt down to 25,108 area, that's something that I would take. Okay, so these are the three levels I'm watching for an entry long. Okay, so that's it for me today. Hope it helped, and whatever I do will be coming out tonight. It will not be left overnight. Anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Cheers for now.